What's up, Starcraft fans? This video is brought to you by ShadowArchon, who is supporting me on Patreon. Pulse Canon tier supporters or higher are guaranteed 1 video redemption per month. This month, he requested that I check out Withering Siphon, the second prestige of Vorazun on, well, any map really. He just wants me to see the interaction between the Stasis Ward and Time Stop. For those of you who remember, the Withering Siphon prestige will allow Vorazun's crowd control abilities. One of them is Stasis Ward, to deal damage to units stuck inside them. So the plan is to use Stasis Ward on the map, and the interaction in particular will extend the units' will extend the time or the Stasis Ward of the units caught in the Time Stop. So the plan is we catch some units in Time Stop or in Stasis Ward, then use Time Stop. Then for the duration of the Time Stop, the Stasis Ward timer will not tick down, but they will still keep taking damage from the Stasis Ward. Effectively, the Stasis Ward, which normally lasts 5 seconds, will last for 25 seconds, multiplying it 5-fold or increasing it by an entire 200%. 200%. So I'll use the Black Hole Duration Mastery because I need to survive, so I'll use that. I'll use Shadow Guard Duration so that my Shadow Guard will still be pretty long-lived, and Spirit Rune Energy so I can use more of that stuff. So I will go on Temple of the Past this time. It's pretty easy to know when and where the enemies spawn by then, and I'll of course go on the Magura map so I don't have to keep re-rolling for enemy comps. So let's do this. We find ourselves in player 1 spawn position on Temple of the Past. So with the free energy from Dark Pylon, we from the Spear of Dune Energy Mastery, we immediately deploy a Dark Pylon to start the game. I will try to ramp up my tech tree as fast as I can. I want to get to Dark Templar and Corsair, because despite the fact that this prestige lessens their damage output overall, they are still the most effective composition for deleting enemy waves on this, well, for Vorazun in general. So I start my gateway after the first gas, but not before the second gas. I want to just start the gas income right away, but not so much gas that I start 2 gas before the gateway. So just kind of, it's a compromise build. I start my gas early, but still get a fairly fast gateway. So you can see I have 15 workers here. Normally I have 14 to get 2 workers per patch saturation. In co-op, there are 7 mineral patches in the main base. So for efficient worker saturation, that is 14 out of 21, or 2 workers per patch. I just put an extra one here so I can send that worker to produce my infrastructure without losing the 2 worker per patch saturation. So I start the Cyber Core. Meanwhile, all the subsequent workers are rallied to the gas rock in the expansion, so they can start just zapping these rocks slowly and gently, but persistently. Key is persistently. I put down a Dark Pylon here on my gas rock so that instead of doing 5 damage per shot on the rocks, my probes will deal 5.75 damage. It's not much, but it kind of stacks up. I get my 3rd gas ever so slightly faster. At least that's the theory. And of course, as soon as the Cybernetics core completes, I start the Twilight Council so I can take up to Dark Shrine and also start a Stargate so I can start my oracles. I use the Shadow Guard to attack these rocks, bring them down as early as I can, put that extra simulator down, use the Dark Pylon recall. Remember, there's still Dark Pylon recall here, so I use that to recall my Shadow Guard. Just run them over here to fight this first wave. The enemy here will be the Gateway composition, the High Templar and Colossus composition for Protoss. It is ground based, and the enemy is ground hybrid. I know this because I just played this game, so I'm just casting from replay. So I delete these workers over. Also, I selected. I'm playing on the Magura map, so I can have full control of what the enemy composition is to minimize the number of re-rollings I had to do. Put down this Dark Shrine and clean out all these guys. So this way, spawn will observe. You can see it's little blur on the map, it allowed the enemy wave to see where my Shadow Guard are. But more importantly, since they can see my Shadow Guard, they engage my Shadow Guard, which basically kept them on this side of the map away from these cannons. So my wave effectively, or my Shadow Guard effectively, was able to fight the wave without cannon support. If they fought here instead of where they spawned, the cannons would have been helping out and the wave would have won the fight. So now Oracle is completed. While the Shadow Fury is researching, I've put down a Stasis Ward over here. The Stasis Ward will of course trap the enemy and allow them to just soak in all that damage, that good damage that the Stasis Ward will deal. So now I'm just completing my tech tree, or yeah, tech tree with the fleet bacon. Fleet bacon, delicious. I just keep producing stuff. Again, still producing workers. The hope is that at 6 minutes, the wave will spawn on top of the Stasis Ward and they will get caught in a vicious time stop. So you can see that, yes, you can see that the bar of the Stasis Ward does not go down. It is stuck at around 2.5 seconds, but they are still taking damage from Stasis Ward. That's exactly what we were hoping for with that Stasis Ward. You can see with the time, with the time stop, with the combination of time stop and Stasis Ward, in this procedure in particular, I can effectively extend the range, or extend the duration of Stasis Ward to 25 seconds, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. The wave that will come here is essentially, well, dead. It's essentially dead, as this guy's 1 health, 1 health, 1 health, 1 health. They are ripe for the picking of my Dark Templar. This guy fortunately stuck behind and was able to delete my Stasis Ward. That's a bit unfortunate, but it's fine. I have enough to hold, and if I can't, I'll just summon the extra Shadow Guard to clean out what is left of this wave. This is fine. Put out another Stasis Ward here just in case they decide to run back up. One of them, well, 3 of them do get stuck. That's nice, and they do take extra damage. So again, it's nice, you know. It doesn't completely delete them. The downside of, well, one of the many downsides of Withering Siphon, this is one of the worst prestiges in the game after all. The downside, or one of the downsides of this prestige, is that it does not destroy. The crowd control spells may deal damage, but not fatal damage to the enemy. So this time I use a black hole to stick them in place, and while that's going on, I have enough time with the mastery to apply this Stasis Ward on that group. So now you can see this Stasis Ward was able to deal a lot of damage to that Void faction. It's pretty nice. Meanwhile, I have an Oracle flying here to this area, another Oracle flying here to this area. They will at some point deploy, but not in time for 9-minute wave, obviously. But they will deploy Stasis Wards here to trap the subsequent waves. We hope that we can trap the 10-minute wave in that Stasis Ward, so that at 10 minutes, time stop will come online. I will apply the Stasis Ward trap on these guys and combine that with time stop to extend the duration of time stop effectively until for 25 seconds instead of 5. And it's pretty huge. Okay, so I'll need to keep one of these to maintain vision. Let's see. So you can see time stop was applied, and these guys are all in time stop, and all in the Stasis Ward. All of these guys are taking continuous damage, and they are effectively down. Well, most of these guys are down to 1 health. Even the Immortals are getting shot down to 1 health. And with that, you can see that these Immortals are just ripe for the picking. This guy is almost down for the count. And that has been an extremely effective sets of Stasis Ward combined with time stop that just dealt so much damage to them. It's pretty good. The downside is, of course, well, one of the main downsides is you can only use it, this trick in particular, once every 4 minutes, because time stop only comes up every 4 minutes. However, with good mastery of spawn timings on this map, you can effectively figure out when to use the time stop and put down the stasis ward to maximize damage of your time stop. Next wave will come over here, so I now have this Oracle. A little bit late. That's a bit unfortunate. I'm not sure if this will be in time. It will just barely not be in time, I think. Oh no, it will actually just barely be in time. So you can see it just traps this entire wave here, and that is huge. 5 seconds of that. 5 seconds of that stasis ward is massive to keep all that attack, the entire attack wave hemmed in that location, and more importantly, being dealt damage. So the wave that will come to my base is a heavily bruised one. You can see guys are out of shields. The zealots have orange to red health. Of course, they were yellow initially, but with the extra disruption web. The disruption web is another one of those abilities that will get affected by Withering Siphon and will allow it to deal damage, but not fatal damage. See these guys taking damage. They're brought down to yellow health, and more importantly, all their shields gone. More guys just walking under the Stasis Ward, all getting a dose of that distraction web, which will render them vulnerable for my Shadow Guard or my Dark Templar to finish them off. You can see I have Oracle here, Oracle here, Oracle here. So this will function effectively like the Spider-Man trap of Lila. If you've seen Lila play on this map, you'll see him have 6 vultures here, 6 vultures here, 6 vultures here. I can see this guy continues taking damage during time stop. That is pretty huge. I use time stop now, even though it's just one hybrid, primarily because there will be another attack wave at 18. And remember what I said: time stop comes online every 4 minutes. It will come on. It just came off. It just came back online, and if I use it right then and there, it will come online again at 18 minutes when the next hybrid spawns. So even though it didn't do much, it was basically a free time stop, and that's what knowledge of the map will get you. You know when to use time stop, and you just want to take an extra free damage. That doesn't seem like a lot of impact, and it's not. But the difference is, it's free impact that you know will not cost you down the line, because you know that the next dangerous wave will not be until your next time stop's ready. That's just pretty good knowledge overall. Some of these will be able to unload, but mostly under that distraction web and other stasis ward, eating and damaging all that stuff. Meanwhile, these oracles flying in, deploying more stasis wards for the 18-minute wave. The 18-minute wave is pretty dangerous. It will have hybrids and stuff, so I need to have a lot of stasis wards there. Wave got the lead. You can see the remnants of a stalker. I just decided to split up my army here. Sent some Dark Templar and my air fleet. You can see I have my army in separate hotkeys this time. I have the Dark Templar in one control group, the air units, which includes the Corsairs, and 2 Oracles on a separate control group. Note, however, that the Oracles in the corners are not in the control group, so that I don't just pull them out of position. I'd rather have these guys being able to deploy the stasis wards whenever I need them. More importantly, before a big attack wave comes. So I just finish off this guy. No big deal. I've cleared out the southwest. Now it's time to clear out the northeast. Just delete these guys and free up more room for my oracles. This time I have 2. On that side, free up oracles to deploy more of those amazing stasis wards. More oracles here, deploy more stasis wards. That's pretty nice. And there you go, a bunch of guys stuck in the stasis wards. I don't use time stop here because you can see my army is just waiting, ready and waiting to receive that entire force. Meanwhile here, it's only cannon, so this is a good spot to use time stop. You can see all those guys. We're gonna get stuck there, and we'll receive damage from the stasis wards. Yeah, just look at all these guys just eating all that damage. Look at that. These guys are all basically down for the count, and they will get cleaned up so fast by my cannons and a few Dark Templar here. Almost unscathed. That's pretty nice. I even found time to clean out one of the bonuses. Of course, these hybrids have a lot of health, so they will not easily fall to stasis wards, and you can see that's another one of the many reasons this prestige is not fantastic. You will still need a lot of firepower to delete waves, and I probably could have put on a Dark Pylon here, but I was busy doing the bonus, so I was kind of running going for it. I was kind of saving up my energy for Dark Pylon in case I needed Shadow Guard, but I probably should have put that Dark Pylon here. No harm though, because I do have my Oracles and my Corsair still here, dealing a lot of work. Ooh, I lost that Corsair. That's unfortunate. Now the wave gets stuck here. That is beautiful. That is splendid. That is magnificent. See all these guys. Ooh, some of these Archons were not actually damaged. That is a bit unfortunate. Ooh, some of those Templar, High Templar merging. That means they were damaged. So that's pretty good. All right, now I have a wave here. Come back here to safety or to defend this area. Splitting off the waves, or splitting off the Shadow Guard rather, or the Dark Templar, so I can defend both this drop wave or this warp in wave and this walking wave. Let's delete that stuff. You can see I have these oracles just redeploying, continuously redeploying the stasis wards. That's probably the hard part of StarCraft II. I mean, anyone can click fast. The hard part of StarCraft II is not clicking fast. Anyone can click fast. The hard part of StarCraft II is remembering to make units, remembering to get upgrades, remembering to put down stasis wards, remembering to put down pylons, supply depots. That is the hard part of StarCraft II. Not clicking fast. That's a misnomer. StarCraft is a management game. You need to remember to do stuff. It's not a you need to click fast. Of course, in the higher levels of 1v1, you do need to click fast, but for most players, for most people, the concern is not clicking fast. The concern is remembering to do things. So that is pretty good, allowing me to put down the stasis ward, which will deal tremendous damage to these guys. That is pretty nice. That's just unfortunate I wasn't able to get that in time, but I did deal significant damage to that one. I deal more damage to these guys. Pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Just decreasing their health to a significant amount by a significant amount. Using Dark Pylon Recall to get my army back in position to deal with the remnant of that attack wave. Again, remember to put down stasis wards in these spots after every engagement. Just reset the stasis ward field so that you are able to keep using or keep getting value out of them. This is probably the most important wave, where I will just have these guys both stuck in. Well, actually no, this one's spawned way too early. That's a bit unfortunate. But now they are stuck. Look at that. Look at these guys. Look at these guys just stuck in that stasis ward, just getting so much damage in from that stasis ward. Oh my goodness, it's a massacre. It's a massacre. It's a merciless massacre. Oh my goodness. This hybrid's almost down. Of course, we have another wave approaching here. More stasis wards on the way. That has been unfortunate. This traitor Dark Templar, this traitor Shadow Guard, led those air hybrids directly to my oracles. That's a little unfortunate. I do summon some guys back here to clean out these guys. Meanwhile, the rest are just sitting here, getting ready for the last wave. And we're just replenishing that supply. I probably should have also gotten upgrades, but that's fine. the bulk of my damage comes from the stasis wards and these distraction webs. See these guys not being damaged a lot. But I do regroup my army here, recall them to this spot, and just engage these guys head on because I'm at 199 supply. That is as max as I can get without getting rid of a worker. I send these guys here. I use a hotkey trick, or I use a queuing trick to send all these guys to hop across this bridge one by one and eliminate the second bonus. I group them up, teleport them back home, and then engage this army of, well, enemies, and delete them. I did try to run for that last bonus, but unfortunately I just barely ran out of time, but it's fine. Solo with this prestige, trying to use the Stasis Wars trick, did work for me, and I did end up with full temple health. And you can see Stasis Wards were able to deal 8.2% of damage. I'd like to think that about half of that came in from just being stuck in time stops, or at least the enemies being stuck in time stops. But as you can see, the bulk of the damage is still the Dark Templar with 60%, and Corsair with 70.7%. Of course, a lot of that Corsair damage is from the Disruption Web, but yeah, the bulk is still the Dark Templar. It's still the Shadow Guard. It's still the auto attack of these guys. You just kind of weaken yourself with Vorazun with this prestige. It does kind of look cool. If you're really bored of the usual carnage that Vorazun does with 1,000 cuts, you can do this, but it'll be harder than you're accustomed to. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you have an idea of what else you can do, please leave that in a comment. I will see you guys next time.